Well, if you're a big fan of minimalistic setup, do not like wires around you like me, then this keyboard might be the perfect answer to your question. Hello and welcome to the another video of Simply Everything. Today I'm going to talk about another multi-device wireless keyboard. However, this time it comes with the RGB lightning. Unlike the Logitech keyboard I made a video about a while ago. Go and check that if you like. So watch this video till the end for the detailed review of this keyboard. So this keyboard comes from Byte, which is a Chinese company. However, it's been making a pretty good computer peripherals lately. So these are the features I'm going to talk about in this video. Well, it has wireless and wired support both. Then it has mechanical keys, 7 patterns of RGB light effects, and inbuilt battery which is of 1000 mAh. And before I jump into more details of all these features, let me explain the layout of this keyboard. Starting with the Bluetooth switchover buttons, and by the way, it supports up to 3 devices via Bluetooth, and those devices can be Windows, Mac, iOS, macOS, Chrome. So as you can see at the top, it has Bluetooth switchover buttons to change the connection from one to another. It also has light indicators for the cap lock or uppercase, some might say. Then there is another switchover button to switch the connection from Bluetooth to wired. On the right side, it has special keys from the productivity point of view. Also, it has 2 knobs at the top on each side, one for the RGB color brightness and to change the RGB effect, and the other one to control the volume. Well, this keyboard doesn't have any software to control or reconfigure the keys, so the functions of the knobs cannot change. It's a bummer, I know, but it's not a deal breaker, I reckon. Okay, now let's talk about all the features and my experience with this keyboard. Starting with the biggest selling point, at least for me, is that it supports up to 3 devices via Bluetooth, as I said earlier. Well, I have had experience hiccups now and then with the connection, nothing major and nothing that couldn't be fixed by turning it off and turning it back on. So at the beginning of this video, as I said, if you guys are a big fan of minimalistic setup, then you need to have a wireless keyboard and a mouse to get rid of all the nasty cables around you, spoiling the decor of your setup. And this keyboard fits perfectly into that setup. Doesn't matter if you have only one device or multiple devices to connect. Well, I have already made a video about Logitech MX Master Anywhere 3 wireless mouse, which also supports up to 3 devices via Bluetooth. Go and check that video as well, and I'll put the link in the card section at the top. Alright, now let's talk about the mechanical keys. Well, it has Outemu blue switches, if I'm saying it right, I don't know, and not the Cherry MX blue. Now I'm not going to discuss the difference between these two in this video. However, one thing tell you that these keys are pretty good and has nice clicky sound to it of mechanical keys. I've been using it for playing games and typing and have no complaints there. Keys are responsive and soft. Well, let me put it this way. If you have ever used a mechanical keyboard, then this is no different, nor the experience of using it. Unless somebody really wants to do a nitpick, then can't help it, can we? Anyway, the point is, keys are pretty good. Alright, speaking of wired connection, well, why you want to use a wired connection? Firstly, for some reason, if a device doesn't have a Bluetooth to connect to. Secondly, if you want to access BIOS settings, so Bluetooth connection doesn't work in that realm. So you need a wired connection to work. And of course, last not the least, to charge this keyboard. As I mentioned that it has a built-in battery, and I'm gonna talk about that in a while. And this keyboard supports micro USB cable for charging and for wired connection, not the USB Type-C. Nothing major. Okay, moving on, battery life. Well, it depends how you use it. I mean, if you use it and then turn it off when you're done and then power it on when you need it, so obviously it's gonna last longer as compared to if you just keep it on all the time. But in my experience, I normally keep it on all the time and it lasts 3 to 4 days before it needs to be recharged again. And yes, it can be used via Bluetooth or wired while charging. Another bummer is that when it connects to a device, it doesn't show the battery percentage or anything. So how to determine that the battery is low? Well, there is one way to find it. It's a sign from heaven or hell. Kidding. Well, the battery is low and the RGB lights go off and the keyboard still works, then you would know that okay, now that it's running on low juice and it needs to be recharged. And I would say that battery remains at around 20 to 30% at that time, which will again gonna last a day or two before it completely dies. And it depends if you want to wait for that to happen and then put it on charging again, which is an ideal way of doing it for the health of the battery, as it's not a replaceable battery and will definitely deteriorate with time. But doing so, then you would miss the RGB lights on this keyboard until you put this thing on charging again. Your choice. Okay, now it's time for the light show, and let me show all the light effects of this. How to change the effect on this? Well, that's by pressing the left knob, and each time you press it, the effect changes to the next one. It does have some pretty cool effects, and even the static light effect is available in case you want to match it to your setup's theme. So I guess I have pretty much covered everything about this keyboard along with the cons of it, such as it doesn't have type C charging port, then no software to control or to change anything on it, and last but not least, no battery percentage indicator. So this is my take on this keyboard. Let me know if you think otherwise or what do you think about it, and also if you want to know anything about it which I missed to cover already, so let me know in the comment section below. Until then, see ya in the next video. Ciao.